Hey guys, Goddess Intuition here. I hope you all are doing well. Happy Self Love Sunday. If you are new here, thank you so much for being here. If you are returning, thank you so much for being here. Over here, we talk about self love, we talk about spirituality, we talk about spiritual topics of the sort. And so, if that is something that you are interested in, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe button and stay tuned. So, you guys know on my Sundays, I love to just journal and jot down where I am on my spiritual path, on my self love journey. And so I don't really have a specific topic that we are going to get into today. It might be a range of different topics. I'm just going to go off the top of my head and hopefully, whatever I am expressing, it can convey over to you guys. Okay. It's going to be in a message form, something that I may say, may click, and it's confirmation for you. So, right. And I wanted to start by saying we do have a full moon tomorrow in Cancer. And of course, Cancer energy is moon energy in itself. It's mothery. It's also shadow self in regards of the psyche and also the emotions. And so I just wanted to tap into a little bit of that energy right now, just to understand where we are as a collective, and then if I feel called to talk about more of that type of energy, then I will. Otherwise, I'm going to move right along to the next topic. So, again, this is basically like a free flowing off the top of my head, and I'm just going to be really channeling and just vibing with you guys. So, with this energy, what I was really picking up on for the past weekend, it's like understanding where you are on your spiritual journey, understanding your path. And there's a little bit of aspect to it of not being afraid to be yourself, but also protecting yourself in regards of if you feel like you can't be yourself around certain people, then you just don't need to express who you are around those type of people. And it's sort of like code switching, understanding that there's a time and a place for everything, right? And you don't have to um fully show who you are, right? Especially to people where you may feel that it's not going to be reciprocated. They're not going to say, "Wow, I really appreciate you as an individual, as a different type of person. I've never came across a person like you." More so the people that we know and the people that we grew up with, or the people that's in our life. If they're not able to adjust to this new you, right? Then I don't think that you need to uh, place yourself in a box when it comes to those type of people. And of course, it can be very complex. It can be very layered in regards of expressing our true identity and expressing who we are versus being politically correct, if you will, and having to place yourself in a box or even blend in, right? Because society says, and I say this all the time, that yes, be yourself, love yourself, be confident, be bold. And then when people start to do those things, it's like, okay, whoa, you're too lit, you're too magical, right? You're too much of a star, so we need to dumb you down. Or for and I'm picking up on like celebrity energy, how celebrities are like these people who love their talents and their gifts, and they chose to share their gifts and their talents with the world, right? And people have to like dig up something or look for something, look for a flaw, or because I believe that society places people on a pedestal. And when I mean society, I mean us in general, right? Right? We judge people, or we put people on a pedestal, the people we love, the people that we have a lot in common with. We're like, wow, we put these people on a pedestal. But then when we realize, hey, these people are different, um, within their own self, within their own identity, they're different from me, right? We're not the same. They do have flaws, they do have insecurities, they have different things that they work on or and work with. Then it's like, okay, wow, they're just regular people. And I feel like, well, regular people should be regular people. Now, you could be a regular person and have a lot of creative gifts and talents, right? You can be a star or a celebrity and have gifts and talents. But once we see people at a certain image, we choose to, or we tend to keep them there, right? Or keep them in that set box. And it's sort of like allowing people to be different, allowing yourself first to say, you know what, I don't have to blend in, but I don't also have to make myself feel like this isn't normal, right? Being yourself, it's okay. Being weird, being strange, being into different things that might seem unconventional to others, non traditional, it's okay. And I think that with this energy and with this moon, it's going to exalt, it's going to exalt different areas for you, right? It's going to have you look at certain things. It's going to have you reading into different areas of your life. It might even take you back to the past for you to say, okay, wow, I've been this magical or I've been this person, right? And each time, at a certain time each year, we have these different realizations of understanding more and more about ourselves. It's sort of like if spirit give us so much at one time, we won't be able to understand ourselves fully. So we have to be able to um, be in the present, understand who we are, love ourselves in that moment, but also look forward. I would say look forward to saying, you know what, I can understand myself. I can love myself. I can have these magical realizations of myself and then, jot them all down and document everything. But then I can also look into my past or look into my shadow self and allow myself to go deep within the realms of my mind to understand who I am, to understand how the world works. So that way I'm able to navigate the world in a better way. I'm able to understand myself and others in a better way, right? And it's sort of like I'm looking at my mind's eye and I'm getting a picture of the moon, and the energy behind that moon is purple. It's purple and it's black. And so what does that speak to? That speaks to um going into the depths of your mind and your soul and your own psyche, and not being afraid of that. It's sort of like we're told, okay, the dark isn't good, be afraid of the dark. But it's like, yeah, you can say that, but now with this new information, with you learning from others, right, reading more and gathering more knowledge and information, you're able to say, wow, the dark is not that bad. The dark is actually a place where we can go to unravel and to understand ourselves fully. And again, with this Cancer energy, it's sort of like going in and out of your shell, but knowing when to, knowing the things to deal with, and knowing to say, you know what, I've dealt with this. I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to reevaluate this situation. And if I choose to keep going forth, then I will. If I choose not to, then I won't. And so, again, it speaks to understanding, like, okay, just like with Scorpio energy and Cancer energy, and then even Pisces energy, each sign of the water signs represent, like, I believe, each parts of ourself, right? And so being able to go in and out of that shadow self and learn a little bit more and then come up, express yourself, or express your gifts and your talents, and um, give yourself to humanity in a way that is leading by example. But then being able to go back and say, you know what, hangman energy, like I need to be able to focus a little bit more on myself and understand myself, but I can still be myself and still express myself. And it brings me to into the next subject, right? The subject matter of this video. And it's like um, not being obsessive over healing, or dwindling in the past or the things that have hurt you or trauma, right? But being able to say, you know what, this happened, I've learned from this, and now I'm here. So if I don't want to experience something like this anymore, I've already dealt with that. Now it's time to move forward. Just like with healing, and obviously healing, um, we're going to continue to heal as a society, as a human race, um, as time go on and on and on. But it's sort of like, what are you contributing, right? If you're not hurting someone, are you helping them? If you're not harming someone, are you being a hindrance? You see what I'm saying? And so it's sort of like, you have to understand where you are. You have to understand who you are and the things that you choose to uh, the things that you choose to give yourself to, if that makes sense. So you want to you want to be yourself. You want to be in the present moment. You want to love yourself. But in order for you to do those things, it's going to take some self-reflection. It's going to take you being by yourself so that you're able to be within your own thoughts, right? So that you're able to understand, okay, is this my intuition? Are these my spiritual guides? Are these my ancestors? Right? Are these the fairies that are talking to me? Right? Nature. So it's sort of like, and I'm now feeling like a playful type of energy. And so Spirit is going to show you different things at different times. Spirit is going to be playful, especially if you have ancestors like mine, where they give you like little bits and pieces of little things. You may have a feeling to look up something, or you may have a feeling to, I don't know, watch a certain type of video or listen to a certain type of song. You're going to find the message. And it's sort of like a playful energy going back into like the inner child, and even allowing yourself to be in that moment. Sometimes we're so serious and we're so like, okay, I have to get this done. I have to do this. I have to do that. But it's like, okay, when do you find the time to be with yourself? Are you able to, is it comfortable for you to be in that space? Because now I'm picking up on, sometimes going back to that inner child is a scary place, because a lot of us have dealt with, um, of course, trauma and, sadness within our childhood and different things that has happened, and just a plethora of things that has taken place as a child, or being in a vulnerable state of mind as a kid, or not understanding what's happening around you, right? And so if you are a person who have dealt with that, and of course, again, we all have, you also want to take a look at the bright side of, things that have happened in your childhood. Maybe you received a toy for Christmas, or a great birthday with friends, or a nice party, or a vacation, right? So, or you may have had a childhood friend that you shared, great conversations and had fun with, right? And so, just within those moments, you can find the details. You can find the truth in those said details. Because I was talking about this just yesterday, and I was talking with my spiritual guides, and what came up is, you can find the truth and the lie within the details, right? If that makes sense. And it's sort of like, again, if you get an idea or a thought or something, you're like, I felt this before. And it's like, you recognize what you feel, you can jot it down, you can document it and everything. And then you may come back to that said energy and look and say, wow, this is where I were. I remember this type of energy. Now you will be able to go back and look and say, so this is what that means. You may get a dream, or again, you may hear a song and it has a message in it. So it's really, again, being on the spiritual path is all about honesty and being truthful with yourself, and understanding where you are, understanding where other people are in your life, right? And not being afraid of that, right? And of course, it's a cycle, right? It's a process, it's a cycle. Let me say that again. It's a process and it's a cycle. But once you get those realizations of evolution, right? Of saying, you know what? I'm going to do something different. I'm going to try something different. I'm going to express myself in a different way, or I'm going to leave this relationship, or I'm going to leave this career and try something else, right? Yes, there can be anxiety there, there can be fear there because it's natural to feel like that. But then you also pair that with, you know what? This is something that I love to do. This is something that I feel called to do. This is something that I've been passionate about. And now you're like, I want to move towards that type of energy, you know? So, yeah, I love this type of energy because it speaks to being truthful and being honest with yourself, you know, and understanding who you are, but yet also understanding why you operate the way that you do. Okay, and I've always been fascinated about that, like understanding who I am but understanding others, and why do we operate the way that we do. And of course, when we talk about spirituality and when we talk about like planetary alignments and everything like that, of course things come into play. So, where your environment, nature, nurture, environments, everything plays a key part, a key element into why we behave the way that we behave. But what I've really been um, focused on is, of course, spirituality and understanding the different elements of spirituality. What goes into us being in this spiritual world while being practical, right? Physical earth. But when we sort of like, even when we like take a nap and then we dream, like, where does that energy come from? Or what's another? If you just get like a thought of somebody and you're like, wow, and you receive that energy, or you may get a phone call and you're like, wow, I was just thinking about this person. Wow, okay. And it's like it's very magical, but in a sense it's like, what is that? I want to know more about that, right? I want to know more about what's going on in the world around me and myself. And this also leads into another conversation. Being open to learn, right? Being open to learn more, because I feel like the more you become um, a student to yourself and learn more and more about who you are, then you are going to become even more curious about the world, right? And global travels, if you will, right? It can be through food, it can be through language, it can be through just interacting with other people and gaining other people's perspective and story, listening to other people and their story and the things that they talk about. And you will come to find out that we are alike in a lot of different ways, across racial lines, across nationalities, globally, everything. Even when we look at nature, there's a certain frequency, right? It's a certain pattern that it's like it. I'm getting the figure eight, and I always get this sign when I'm talking about nature. I always get this sign. So it's like the figure eight, moving in and out of time, right? Moving in and out of space, and understanding what that is and what that feels like, right? And so this is just a little bit lighter discussions when it comes to spirituality. I do intend on going a little bit deeper and darker as this channel progresses. If that is something that you guys are interested in, be sure to leave a comment, and be sure to, yeah, share a little bit about that with me, because as I bring these messages forth, as I understand myself more and understand and be more interested in others and what they have to say, and then myself, I want to be able to bring certain messages, and clarity and understandings when it comes to spirituality, right? And how beautiful it is and how magical it can be, but also how dark it can be, right? If we don't cherish that, and if we don't look at um, who we are and how we can even, sometimes abuse the power that we have, or um, be over dominant, when it comes to us being who we are, right? Because of blind spots, because we don't know certain things, right? So that's all I have for this video. And yeah, you guys, make sure you like and subscribe, and I will catch you in my next video. Take care.